I told my wife when I got with her, I said, look, I'll do anything for you except one thing. I will not give up on my dream. If I got to surrender my dream, I'd rather be alone. Because if I abandon my dream, I'll abandon you. I truly believe that. I see so many people, man, they give up their dream for the wife. They give up their dream for the husband. And then the wife and the husband get together and they have kids and then they give up their dream again because of the kids. And I said, the day we have kids, we cannot blame the kids for not going after our potential and our dreams. If we ever have kids when we were getting together. And she wasn't ready to have kids. She wasn't even ready for me. So I knew she was the right person for me. And I'm like, look, I'll give you anything. Monogamy, I'll never cheat on you. I'll never jack around on you. I'll take care of you. I'll provide you with a life that you can only dream of. This was 12 years ago. I mean, this was way before Grant really hit full Grant, and which she's really added to and made it easier. But I said, look, if I got to be less than who I'm meant to be with you, can't give you that. I said, I got books in me. I'm going to do the biggest events in the world. I'm going to do a TV show. I will be known by millions, if not billions of people, and I will leave a legacy. That has been with me before I ever met you. And I'm not giving that up, because if I give that up, I'll give you up.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I was making $300 a month. I quit on my business partner, and the thing that saved me was studying the stories of super successful entrepreneurs. So I hope that this story today helps give you the motivation you need, because I still need it too myself. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Grant Cardone, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
I think it's priorities. I think it's, watching my dad die. And he did everything right, everything. He worked hard, saved his money, paid his debts off, respected his name. He was respected in the community. He did everything right. And when he died, my mom had to start hustling and shuffling and scared. And he did everything right and it didn't work. So when I saw my mom was having to sell my dad's dream house a week after he died, I'm like, something's wrong with the game he's playing. So I've been challenging the game the whole time, like, oh, my dad was taught the wrong rules. And he played by the rules and it still didn't get him out. It's the middle class mythology. It's the idea that I'm gonna have just enough. So since then, I've been challenged, really looking at everything that masses of people believe in. Family first. This thing, people throw that around all the time. I'm blessed. Everybody says they're blessed. Yeah, but go prove it. Go prove, we're all blessed. Go prove it. So these are some things that I just like the dream thing. I'm like, is family first or was my dream first? Well, in my case, my dream was before my family.
Rule number 2, learn to handle haters.
Success comes with this, okay? It does not. The higher you go up the tree, the more people are gonna be like, look at him, he's gonna fall. They want you to fall. They wanna take you down, okay? They wanna hurt you. But most importantly, they're trying to get attention for their own brand or name, and they have nothing to create for themselves. If they can't create anything, what they do is they hate, okay? It's like hate is the opposite of create. You can't create and hate at the same time. They did this to Jesus. They did it to Gandhi. They did it to Oprah. They did it to Obama. They did it to Trump, okay? If you're gonna blow, if you're gonna get big, if you're gonna service the world, help the world, become a charitable source, if you're gonna disrupt anything, look what they do to Elon Musk. The entire automotive industry. And Biden wouldn't invite him to an automotive conference where they're discussing electric cars. How's that even possible? Every great person that's ever walked on planet Earth, male or female, young or old, has been hated on, has been clickbaited, dragged, criticized, ridiculed, dismissed, called a fraud, a con, blah, blah, blah. So this is what haters do. Okay, haters can't create, so they hate. So number 1, you got to understand that this is part of success. It comes with everything else that success comes with. It comes with the money, the toys, the winning, the victories, the happiness, the celebrations. What also comes with success is this, the criticizer and the hater. Okay, it's like building a house. You build a house, you're going to end up with termites. You have a baby, you're going to end up with poop. Everything comes with a liability, okay? So don't take it personal that people hate on you. Take it as a compliment. I know it's hard. Number 1, understand it's coming. Number 2, do not respond directly to these people. There's no reason to use their name. There's no reason to support them. There's no reason to honor them, respond to them. It doesn't matter, dude. They're not doing anything. I know that 10 years from now, they won't be where they won't be anywhere. They will not have done anything. They will be off using or dragging somebody else's name, and I'm going to create my empire. So go out and create your success. Do the things you got to do. Stay focused on prospering. We sent out $40 million this year in Cardone Capital distributions. $40 million. Everybody that drags my name combined times 10 and times 10 lifetimes will not generate for themselves that much money, much less give it back to their investors. That's in 1 year I've done that. I'm sorry, that's in 7 months that I've done that. We've done $1.2 billion of sales over the internet. You can put every clickbaiter together in the same room and give them 1,000 lifetimes. They won't produce that much because you cannot produce and create when you hate. It's not possible. You just cannot be, you can't come up with solutions. You can't make the world a better place while you're hating on any one object. Okay? So when I literally put my attention on negativity on one object, how can I create something good over here? It's not possible. So don't be distracted by the distracted. The third thing, okay, you have to double down on your prosperity and your success. You got to keep expanding. What they hope to do is to contract you. Don't contract, extrovert. Keep extroverting. Keep creating on the things you're doing. Let that detraction become an inspiration for your creation, for your continued creation. I remember hearing Elon Musk say something about, somebody asked him, what do you say about the people that say you can't do this? And he looked at him, the interviewer, and says, we did this. And that is really, really important. Go out and change the world. Go out and service your customers. Service the world that you want to service. Do the things you want to do. Use the hate as an inspiration to actually validate your creation and to do what you're inspired to do. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it distract you. Don't let it introvert you. Keep creating on it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's like anything else, okay? With every asset, every creation of every asset comes some liability. They're termites. They're freaking rats. They will never create anything for themselves and their family that's valuable, much less share it with their customers. They're merchants of chaos, like the media, Fox and CNN, these people that are spreading fake news all around. This is the only thing they can produce, is on the backs of successful people. So go out and be successful. Understand the haters are coming. 2, use it. Use it. Don't recommend them, recognize them, talk about them. Talk about what you're doing. Double down on it, 10x on it. Use it to inspire you to create more success for yourself and your family. Move on. And then last thing is handle your family and friends on it, okay? I had a friend once sent me something he saw somebody wrote back in 2020. Oh my God, I read this. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? What kind of friend would believe information from some scumbag you don't even know? That's not a friend, okay? And I put his ethics in order. I said, stop it. Don't even ask me about it. Don't challenge me about it. Don't question me about it. How dare you? You're my friend. A friend will support their friends and not listen to the garbage. They will actually overlook the defects of the individual and look at the good they're doing, support them in the good they're doing, trust that they're going to continue to do good. That's what friends do. So don't worry about the haters, worry about the friends that listen to the bullshit from the haters. God bless, be great. 10x.
Rule number 3, don't surrender.
As long as I got money, somebody will make for me.
Yeah.
As long as I have influence, money, as long as I have the gold. Look, if you have the gold, you make the rules. And that has existed for thousands of years. It will never be violated. That is the rule. And I know people say it sounds terrible. I always looked at this game like, I want to have the gold. I want to make the rules. I'll find somebody that gave up on their dreams. Billions of people give up on their dreams every day. You're never going to you're not going to fix that shortage overnight. I would encourage everybody to become more like me, so that at least you get on the other side of this rainbow and say, oh, I know what it looks like over here. Because most people never even get.
Why?
Because people ask this question that you just asked. And that question is based on a give up. It's based on a surrender to the game.
Okay.
Should everybody play the game? Yeah, everybody should play the game. Should everybody learn backgammon? Yes, because you should learn backgammon because it's a cool game to play. Should everybody learn how to make money? Yeah, you should. Because if you give up before you do it,
You'll never know.
You'll never know, man. And I'm telling you, money, like just this concept, money won't make you happy. Where did that come from?
Lies and deception.
Who told you?
Lies and deception.
Yeah, because most people that say money won't make you happy don't have any money, or they're trying to get your money.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, money has made me happier. As long as you get the right amount of it.
Rule number 4, network with people.
You're going to get what you go look for. If you're looking for a purple elephant, you'll find one this weekend, even though there's not one on this planet. How many of you are going to look for a purple elephant? Look for one. I'll bet you find one. Okay? If you look for a 32-unit deal, you'll find a 32-unit deal. If you look for the credit, you'll find the credit. You'll find the debt. You'll find the cash. You'll find the deals. If you're looking for a partner, you can find a partner. If all you do is keep looking for excuses, I don't have time, I don't have money, I can't do it, I'm black, I'm brown, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm a girl, I'm this, I got a job, I'm too young. How old are you, man? Now's the time, baby. Now's the time, bro. You 3 years behind Alexander the Great. You understand that? Okay. Alexander the Great had taken over all of Persia. And you 19 years old. It's time, man. I'm taking you under my wing, man. Okay? I'm your guy. I dare you to take me up. I dare you to take me up one, okay? Come spend 2 or 3 weeks in my offices here in Miami. We'll put you up. You can literally, what's it called, interning? You're gonna intern with me. You're gonna be by my side. I'm gonna crack with you every day, man. Why is she crying?
I'm just go ahead, Alex.
Why is she crying?
Really believe you.
Huh?
Just really believe you.
Of course she does, dude.
It's your mother.
My dad died when I was 10 years old, man. I needed a man, okay? His mom is probably a great mom. She can't be a mom and a dad. The better the mom you are, the worse the dad. So I'm a good father. I am a terrible mother. I'm like, jump! My wife is like, we're on the 30th floor. Yeah, like I'm a father. I'm a guy, right? So it's a different vibe. And my mom tried to be a mom and a dad, and she couldn't. And so you be the mom. You know, I don't know where your dad is, but if I could anyway. And by the way, the mom and the dad can only do so much, and then an uncle needs to step in. So if you want to take me up on that, hit Andy, okay? And we'll hook you up, okay? All right, guys, let's get back in there. Appreciate you being here. I hope you continue to do more stuff with us. I'll see you back tomorrow.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, pay attention to the top line.
Your department and your household has a financial statement. If you look up the word economics in the dictionary, economics means management of a household. And this is where people go a little fuzzy right now. You could be going fuzzy. What's he talking about? I'm talking about your damn money. Just right on here, my damn money. That's what finances is. It's my money. You know, how many of you seen that little t-shirt I got? It's like, who's got my money? That's what this is. A professional baseball player said he was retired. He's a retired professional baseball player. He's like, he's in business for himself now. He's like, when you said, who's got my money? He's like, literally changed my entire business. He's like, I was spending time on a bunch of complicated stuff and wasn't doing what I knew to do in baseball. In baseball, if you're a batter, what's the game? Get on base. It's not hit the ball, it's get on base. You could get hit by the ball and you'll celebrate yourself, right? It's get on base. Once you get on base, what's the next thing you want to do? You want to advance. Okay, in finance, you need to advance your finances. Everybody agree? The way to advance finances is not to shrink the bottom 2/3 of this statement. It is to grow the top line of the statement. Same thing for your household. Your household needs more income. Chris, the police officer, if he wants more money, he cannot reduce his expenses as far as he can raise his income. You can only reduce your expenses to 0. Everybody agree? I can only reduce so far. What can I do with income? If Chris got really creative, how far could his income go? It's unstoppable, it's unlimited. He can only, no matter how bright he is or how smart he is, a company, an individual, a household can only take their expenses so low.
Rule number 6, execute.
You can change my life. Your money cannot change my life. You can give me a stack of money as big as you want. You ain't got enough. There's nobody on this stream, not one person on this stream, a combined 50 of you cannot change my financial life. It's impossible. But you could change my life. Your charity could change my life. It could give us more purpose. You could help me with my foundation in your part of the world. You could help me with my legacy. You could help my children when I'm not here. She's 30 years old, maybe I'm not here, and you're in Singapore, or you're in Dubai, or you're in Lafayette, Louisiana, or you're in Indianapolis, and you see her and she needs some help, you can help me. You can help her. But you can't help her if you ain't got anything. You don't have a job, an opportunity, you don't have money, you're worried about your own stuff, you can't even keep your own refrigerator full. How can you help Sabrina? It's impossible. For those of you who feel like he's preaching at you, it's because you're resisting the lecture. You're resisting the answers. Those of you who are like, give me more, bro, give me more. I need the 6 pieces. It's not about having the 6 pieces of data. It's about executing the 6 pieces of data. So if I didn't care about you guys, I'd just go on with my life and go buy another piece of real estate tomorrow. And then I'd do a second deal and a third deal and a fourth deal and a fifth deal. If it was just about the money, okay? So we're here to help you. Stay here right now. Stay here, stay present. You got to keep making a decision. Okay, let me add a piece. See, Elena's getting it right now. Joe Mascali's getting it. Joe, nice beard, bro. Damn. Incredible, brother. Where are you? Where in the UK are you?
In Essex, just outside of London.
I know where Essex is, okay? You're close to St. Hill, aren't you?
Where?
St. Hill, no? Oh, Sussex. Oh, I thought you said Sussex. Okay, hey, let me ask you something. How often do you have to take care of that beard?
I pretty much stroke it a lot.
Yeah, you stroke yourself a lot, huh?
Yeah, I go to the barber's, get it lined up, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but every morning you keep working it out, don't you?
100%. Brush it out in the morning. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Thank you, mate. Thank you for being here, okay? Now, folks, what is your beard that you take care of every day? Because I know a lot of you think, man, I just can't stay with it. Promise you. I'm going to give you a list of things that you can stay with. In fact, I want you to write these things down. I want you to write down the things that you do every day, because a lot of you think you can't stay with it, and it's a lie. Write down some things that you do every day that take 0 energy, and you do it every day. Joe takes care of his beard. He calls it stroking. He doesn't even call it taking care of the beard. Okay? How many of you put makeup on every day? All you ladies out there, every day you do it. Okay? You do these things naturally. I just want to recover for you. I want to recover for you your belief in yourself. It is not true that you have failed you. You are taking care of you, Stuart, every day. You're taking care of your eyeballs right now. You're taking care of yourself every day. The problem is, and this is what Brandon's talking about. The problem is you're not taking care of the things that can get you up to the top of the mountain.
Rule number 7, learn to sell.
You see this financial statement right now? Right here, everybody has one. Some of you are seeing one for the first time in your life. Financial statements everywhere in the world, whether I go to Cincinnati or Singapore, they're identical. I go to Dubai, or I go to Taipei, or I go to Sydney, Australia. Financial statement, the languages are different, the culture is different, the foods are different. Everybody agree? The colors of the skin might be different. The financial statement is the same everywhere. And they all start like this, okay? There's this much of it, that's the revenue of the company. Typically, there's this much revenue, and there's that many expenses. Okay, which one's more powerful? This is more powerful than that. Okay, I need to spend 95% of my time on the top part of this. You see where it says revenue, gross sales, less sales returns and allowances, net sales? That little piece right there, you can take to infinity. That, you can take to zero, and that's it. You can never get it lower than zero. And like, if that don't boggle your mind, if that little simple concept, I can take expenses to zero, I can take gross sales to infinite. How big can I imagine? Okay, how do I pay for the jet? Sales. How do I pay for the 19 country trips? Sales. Okay, who's gonna give me a sale? People. The top line, those top line is people. 95% of your time should be spent on income and people. People have everything you want. The people that you know do not have what you want. The people that you don't yet know have everything you've dreamed of. So how old are you, sir? 57 years old. The people that love him and care for him, that have taken care of him, that support him, have had plenty of damn time to change his life. He needs to now say, okay, I've been looking at the wrong damn place. Okay, he now needs to meet the people that can change his life, because it's not his mom, his dad, his uncle, his grandpa, his kids. The people that love you are not going to change the quality of your life. They've had plenty of time to do that.
Rule number 8, have confidence.
When I met Elena, I called my mom. I said, I met my wife today. She's like, have y'all been out yet? I said, no, she hates my guts. She wants nothing to do with me, okay? Kind of like I felt about Pete the first time I met Pete. I told Jared, I said, I want nothing to do with him. It's a true story. Pete's like, can I get 5 minutes? Sure, I'll give you 5 minutes. Might be 15 seconds. Boom, he made an impression with me. First impression is, what's the first impression? Last impression is more important than the first impression. Most of the people you meet, they're gonna have a bad first impression of you. Okay? Most of the people I meet do not like me. My wife she did not like me. She didn't even see me. She didn't even, like I was invisible to her. She couldn't remember whether I had black hair, brown hair, short, tall. She didn't remember nothing. Like, she's like, huh, who are you? I met you last night, huh? Yeah, you know, the guy in the RV. Uh-huh. So look, no matter what you do, there's gonna be people that don't know you. Right? You're going to be humbled. Elena did not know me, did not want to know me, did not want to get to know me. My mom said, Grant, if she don't like you, it takes two, Grant. It takes two. How many of your parents told you that before? It takes two. You got to have two people in a marriage. And I told my mom, thank you, Mom. Thank you. And I hung up and I'm like, she wrong again. It don't take two, folks. It takes one person to make a relationship work. It takes one person to make a sale. You know how many things I've sold in my life where nobody wanted to buy it? Okay, almost probably 80% of everything I've ever sold was to someone that didn't want to buy it. The other 20% wanted to buy something from me. Last thing I'm gonna say, it was his idea and our idea to get you here. You got sold this. You didn't buy this. You understand that? Okay? Don't be saying, oh yeah, I bought it. No, you didn't. You got sold this. Okay? We sold you on coming here. This wasn't your idea. You didn't call up and say, hey, I'd like to come down to the 10X headquarters. I'd like to give you guys money and spend a couple of days there learning. In fact, would you guys do a challenge, put a challenge together and sign me up for a lot of others as well? No. This was our idea to get you here. Okay, and that's the same thing that's gonna happen for your audience. It's not gonna be them wanting to do something with you. You gotta decide. It takes one person to make a sale. It never takes a buyer. Almost never takes the buyer. It takes me to walk up and say, this is what we're doing.
Rule number 9, use debt to level up.
Apple Computer has $196 billion in cash today. They will borrow money tomorrow morning. Debt is good. Some debt is good debt. And there's not a wealthy company on this planet, not one wealthy company on the planet Earth that is cash free, that does not use debt. I don't want to get out of debt. I want to create wealth. And the way to create wealth is through debt. And the debt is cheap. The debt is under 3%. I pay interest only. I don't even pay the mortgage down. So basically what I'm doing is prepaying my mortgage, massive amounts of mortgage I'm paying down in the beginning so it stays stable. My debt stays stable and the asset goes up in value. So like a house, you see the problem with a house, and you shouldn't even have this comparison or conversation, because if I buy a house for, let's say the average house is about $240,000 in America, and I put 5% down, you're probably over leveraged right there. Why would they give me that loan? And the house doesn't provide any income. I want to check every month. I don't want to check every quarter. I want to check every month. I don't want to check 10 years from now. Dude, I want that paper back today. I want to sell to the Goldman Sachs and the Blackstones of the world. You can't start there, but you can level the game up to play there.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is know what you need.
Hey, all you guys saying, I don't need this and I don't need that, I don't need this and I don't need that, and I don't need that. Oh my God, why you gotta have all that? How can you know what you want when you ain't never done it? Just keep it real, man. I'm sitting here on the front of a damn 180-foot yacht, leaving Monaco. Telling my buddy Brandon back there, I said, bro, my whole life I have been guilty of saying I didn't need this or that without even knowing what this or that was. Can you tell you how many times I said, nah, I don't need a yacht. Who needs a yacht? Nobody needs a yacht. I've never been on a yacht, man. Okay? Like, take a jacuzzi on this yacht while you leave other yachts in Monaco. You do this one time and I guarantee you're gonna start thinking, God damn, man, how can I get me a yacht? You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real with you. This 10X thing makes you think big, makes you act bigger, and get you around some stuff where you're like, maybe I do need a yacht. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, I've given this experience to my daughter, which she will never, ever forget. I hope you guys...
Or unfortunately.
Yeah, because when you can't forget it, you can't forget it. And you're like, God dang, I want to go back to that life. It's like flying private. You fly private one time, and man, you will hate boarding Southwest Airlines. It's fantastic, man. This is how everybody should live. And I'm sharing this with you guys just so you know, man, how can you know what you want when you've never even seen it, been around it? Nobody's sharing it with you. They're not talking about how cool it is and good it is. Because I know there's a whole bunch of people in here going to hate on me because I'm showing me and my family living on a yacht for 2 weeks in the south of France. I know people are going to hate on me for that. Why, though? Why are you hating on somebody just trying to share $1 billion worth of game for free? You understand? I'm just telling you. Share this with somebody that's always already tell you, I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be married. I don't need to have kids. I don't need to vacation the world. I don't need a car. I don't need, the dream. How would you know if you've never had it? If you've never experienced it? These are balloons for my daughter, Scarlett. Okay, she didn't know she needed that, but she knew she wanted it. Okay, made me feel good to be able to do it for her. So look, just remember, the next time, make an agreement right now, the next time you say, I don't need all that, just ask yourself, have you even had that? Do you even know what that smells like on open sea in the Mediterranean? To do a trip like this and bring a bud, say, hey man, I got you, bruh. Okay, to bring my kids and my wife on a trip and not have to worry about the money every second. I used to take vacations. I worried about the cost of it before the trip, while I was booking the trip, during the trip, and definitely worried about it after the trip. Get yourself in a situation where you can do anything with the people that you love and care for. Look, I'm looking at castles. Come on, I'm excited now. God bless, be great.
You got to be in the market. You got to be looking at deals. You got to have confidence. You got to get debt. You got to have cash, okay? Do not use the last two as an excuse not to do a deal. Shame on you. If you leave here and you keep blaming, I don't have the money and I don't have the bank. You don't need the money and you don't need the bank. You need the damn deal. To me, interest-only loan is a really great loan to get because you have a stable, one of your greatest expenses is now stabilized completely. meaning the debt will not go up. So if my debt payments are 400 grand a year, they're never gonna change. My taxes will keep changing, my expenses will keep changing, employee payroll will keep changing. I need to secure and stabilize as much as I can. So interest only is not really about the asset class as much as it is about the amount of leverage you use. Anyone can get, as long as you're working with the right lender and the size of the deal is right, almost anyone can get an interest only loan. So if you get down to 50%, you're probably good. You just got to ask your bank, like the lady yesterday said, oh, we don't do interest only. Guarantee you they do interest only. And you shouldn't be scared of interest only. Because what is principal and interest anyway? Principal pay down is like a 2%, a point and a half pay down over 10 years. Over 10 years, you're going to pay down your debt maybe 15%. So rather than me putting 65% down, I pay 50% down right now, and it's interest only the whole time. All I'm doing is prepaying my pay down. To get the deal, you need a commitment. You got to have a commitment when you leave here. You got to be like, okay, man, I'm going to take my money. How many of you got cash in the bank right now? You have cash in the bank because you don't have confidence in these deals. I don't have cash in the bank because I trust my real estate more than I do my cash. How many of you got a 401k? Good. That's because you do not understand the value of real estate. Because if you understood the value of real estate the way I do, you would not have a 401k that you can't access for 30 years. How many of you got equity in your home? Excellent. And that just shows me that you do not have complete confidence in the game that I'm telling you right now, because if you had complete confidence in what I'm doing, you would not have equity in your home. You probably wouldn't even have a damn home. You'd have your money sitting in 161 units somewhere, paying you a check every month to make your house payment that you owe money on. I am not going to invest with you if you don't know what you're talking about. Where is it? I don't know. What's the job growth? I don't know. What's the rent? I don't know. What's the next door? I don't know. What's the NOI? I don't know. Okay, nobody. I'm like, next. Who's serious? Number 3, not knowing your underwriting. You got to know your underwriting. It's better for you when we meet Wednesday night. It's better that you don't know your underwriting with me than when you do it with the bank. You do not want to mess up with the bank. They're not going to forgive you once. One time, they're going to be like, leave this guy alone. They never forgive you for it. You'll never get in their good graces if you mess up with them one time, because they're cowards. That's not their money they're lending. Number 4, you got to buy through every cycle. You cannot wait for the bust out. You got to buy through the good times. You got to buy through the bad times. You got to buy all the time. So before COVID, I was buying. During COVID, I was buying. After COVID, I was buying. So when I'm on a phone call with somebody, I was on a phone call today, I said, guys, they said, what did you buy during COVID? $600 million worth of stuff. They're like, dang, man. Like, it shows tremendous confidence that I can go do a deal through uncertain times. Number 5, buying too small. Buying too small is a problem. It's a headache. It's a pain in the ass, okay? 6, being talked out of deals. Leave the people around you alone. Get somebody that's pro on this thing. Don't talk to your stockbroker or your financial planner. Do not talk to your dentist or your chiropractor about buying real estate. Let them crack your back and then get off the table and go back to buying some real estate. Number 7, not looking at enough deals. These are the mistakes you're gonna make. You're not gonna look at enough deals. You're gonna look at a couple and quit. Keep looking at deals. They're gonna stack. The information is gonna stack. I remember one of my jobs was I was in a produce department in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in a grocery store. And I was telling Jared about produce the other day. I hated this job. The guy's telling me, look, man, when the bananas get some bruises on them, you got to move them to the front. I didn't know I was learning something. Fast forward 50 years. When an event's getting close to being expiring, move that event to the front. You understand? As you're losing time because your product's gonna get bruised and expire, move it to the front. Like, I didn't know when I was 16 years old that I was learning when I was stacking the shelves and they taught me how to stack the Cheerios and the Brillo pads and the Tide. And they told me how to pull it to the front, keep it squared up. I didn't know I was learning to pack and control my environment. When you look at a lot of deals, this deal is going to teach you about that deal, is going to teach you about that deal, is going to teach you about that deal. And then one day you're going to be like, this deal right here is sick because of these deals. And you're going to know for sure because you knew those, because these gave you the data you needed to buy that one, okay? One deal can what? Number 8, I need to write a book. One deal can change your life.
It's not about getting the right answer. It's about being able to use the information in the right situation. And so you have to go into a situation knowing something's going to be stable, particularly in an environment where there's a lot of variables. And we live in an environment right now with a lot of variables, with COVID, the mask, the election coming. Who knows? There's a million different things going on out there. You cannot add another variable to that many variables. So the thing that you need to do is you have to be the stable person in an environment where there's a lot of craziness going on. I had so many people tell me, well, it depends on the situation. No, dude, you need to be the same person every time, regardless of the situation. Because if you try to change to that's the problem with this whole adapting thing. If you're gonna adapt to every situation that happens in life, you'll never become anything. Because you'll just be a chameleon one second, and then a tiger the next second, and then a kitty cat the next second, and then roadkill the next. You'll just become whatever is going on in the environment, and you'll never become strong, the strong you should be. And this disparity in America, particularly in America and around the world, the disparity between the people that have something and everybody else is getting bigger and bigger. If you don't like the way that is, if you don't like the way that game's working out, you need to improve your skill set so that you can go get yours for you and your family. Because it's out there. I'm just telling you, the opportunity's out there. It's whether you want to open your eyes, be conscious the whole time, go look at it, and figure out how do you get your share of the American dream.
The first thing I might want to do before I start planning new stuff, take some of the stuff out of my garden. I need to make some space. I need to make some space. I need to remove the weeds. I need to mulch the ground. I need to take something out. I need to dig in, remove stuff, okay? Get the soil ready for new plants and new trees. And a lot of times, in fact, every time in my life, for me to get from this place right here, where I am, I'm parked right now, for me to get from here to there, I have to leave here. That is the number one rule of success. I have to give up something. And for me, I've given up drugs, I've given up friends, I gave up a girlfriend that I was like madly in love with, crushed me for years. I've done that, 2 of those. They weren't right for me. Just weren't the right people for me. I was in love, but whatever chemistry, it diluted my power. I've given up a house in Houston, Texas, where I had friends and family. I gave up a house in La Jolla that I absolutely love, still love today, still miss that house today. 20 years I've been out of that house, miss it almost every day. Had to give it up though to become this guy. Gave up a house, Elena and I gave up a house in Los Angeles, magnificent house. You know, I would flip my house, where I live today, I would flip it off to go live back in that house today. People don't understand the sacrifices people pay every day. Every day, I still go to work today. I give up my free time to go to work because I got 107 employees that depend on me. For a paycheck, for inspiration. My company feels it when I'm not there. I know they feel it. Johnny, the camera guy, starts missing me. You know, the other guys start missing me. I got a great team too. My team holds everything together, but even when you're the king, you're the man, the boss, you're the queen of the empire, you're still working for other people. You still got to give up your freedom and your right to do whatever you want.
So I want to give you a list of things to drop your drama.
No drama!
Reduce your risk. How many of you'd like to never lose money on a deal? Check off most of this list and you won't lose money on a deal. Number 1, is the location good? The better the location gets, the better off you are. I should have asked Robert that. Would you rather pay a higher price for a better location or a lower price for a worse location? I think I know what he would tell me. Is it affordable? Affordable to who? To the tenant, not to you. You're not buying a box of groceries here. Is it affordable to the tenant based on what else I can buy in that area? Okay, New York City rents should be higher than Miami rents. Okay, if I'm at Fifth Avenue, right, and every condo is $12 million, and I can rent there for $5,500 a month for a little tiny apartment, or if I go to Silicon Valley and people are being paid $250,000 to work at Facebook as an intern, I can pay $9,000 a month in rent. And those rents, by the way, you have 1970 built product. It was built in 1970. Elena, were you born in 1970? She wasn't even born yet. And there's apartments that were built in 1970, 52 years old, that rent for $9,000 a month. 1 bedroom, 800 square feet, old ass kitchen, bad floors, bad cabinets, leaky faucets that rent for $9,000 a month. And somebody bought those years ago. I guarantee you they probably only paid $9,000 for the unit. And every month they collect another $9,000 if they've been there long enough. Okay, so it could be affordable, right? Even though it's $9,000. You take the rents in Miami at $1,500, $2,800, anywhere in between $1,500 and $2,800. You take that same asset, you take that and transport it to New York City. Those rents are $25,000 a month. Take the same property, push it to Singapore. Singapore rents are 80% higher than the United States of America. And you guys complain about the rents. You guys complain about the rents because the locals never change the market. You want to write this down. The locals never change the market, the outsiders do.
Man, did you hear that the person that won the lottery, I got 2 points to make here. The person that won the lottery is 84 years old. Her name is Gloria McKenzie. Here in Florida, she'll pay no state taxes on that winning. I keep telling you guys, move to a tax-free state so that your income's not taxed. And hey, if you win the freaking lottery, $380 million freaking dollars, you wouldn't be taxed at 10 or 13%. What are you thinking, man? The second point here is this. This woman would not have won this lottery ticket had it not been for the guy in front of her being so gracious to look at 84 and say, hey, lady, you want to go in front of me? I guess he was worried that she'd die before she could buy the ticket, okay? Folks, in my book called If You're Not First, You're Last, I basically explain, look, man, if you're first in line, you don't give it up to an 84-year-old. I know that might sound, without compassion and uncaring and not sensitive. Hey, when you're buying a lottery ticket, get in, get out as quick as possible. If you're not first, you're last. In this case, I hope 84 gives this guy a little squeeze of the cheese. Please. Let's find out how gracious 84 is with her 380 to the guy that got out of line to get her in the line to buy the ticket that won the money where she don't pay any state taxes in Florida. How many times in my life I've woken up like not sure. I think it started happening for me years ago, like probably around 12 or 13. I didn't know what to do every day. What's today gonna bring? Maybe it's after watching so much TV and eating so much sugar. I think our diets definitely have a lot to do with all that. But look, I want to give you something today about how to get out of the funk, the funky hunk dunk. By the time I was 25, this thing went on from 12 to 25. At 25 years old, I was in so much depression every day. I was using drugs, alcohol. I was self-medicating constantly, making bad decisions. I lived in a 275, I just remember how much it was. It was $275 a month, and every other month I couldn't make the payment. I was late. Today, I live in this joint right here. I live up on the 33rd floor of this place. And completely different life today than I had then. 25, I went to a treatment center for 28 days for drug addiction. I was using drugs every day, hated it. Let me tell you something worse than drugs is how you feel about yourself. I hated myself every time I did a drug. Every time I smoked weed,
Every time I did any drug, the moment I put the pill in my mouth, the weed to my mouth, something in my nose, I hated myself. I never felt good about using drugs. And so by the time I was 25, I had been using drugs for 10 years, but my problems started before that. My problems didn't start with the drugs. It started with my inability to manage this late grade chronic depression. This, for lack of better words, this idea that I wasn't good enough. This idea that I didn't love myself. You know, my mom quit on me. My mom told me, hey, don't come around here anymore. My twin brother pretty much was done with me. My sisters both knew that I was in trouble and were like, oh my God, we're gonna get a call on him today. The people I worked with, the principal at the high school I went to said I couldn't win dog catcher in my 11th and 12th grade, told my mom that. My student, my PE teacher said I would amount to nothing. I wrecked my car on my driver's ed test. I failed my driver's license test. I was fired from my first 6 jobs, wouldn't leave the 6th one. Dude, I'm telling you, I was a loser. Loser, okay? I'm telling you, loser. And I didn't have to ask other people. Nobody had to tell me I was a loser. I knew I was a loser. So, look, if you've ever been there, I know there's people watching this right now. Maybe you don't even know who I am. You're like, who's this dude talking about himself, I've come from that, where I was bankrupt spiritually, financially, physically. I weighed 134 pounds. That's 40 pounds less than I weigh today. I was broken every way possible. I didn't have any money. I was in debt. But the worst of the worst was how I felt about myself. I got out of that treatment center, and the counselor told me on the way out of the treatment center, if you read my last book, Be Obsessed or Be Average, it was the first book that I really shared anything about my life. Of all 7 of my books, that one gives you a kind of a look inside my life more than anything. And maybe what I'll do is I'll have my guys give you a chapter of that book free. And it's not what I came here to give you. I do want to give you something, but maybe my guys could put a couple of different links in here for you. So I got out of that treatment center, and the counselor said to me, I think his name was Philip. I don't remember the guy now. I hated his guts then. I still don't think much of him. He said to me, guy was really confused. He was more confused than I was. He said, now that I look back, he said, hey, if you leave here and you don't give up, because when you're there, you spill your guts, you tell them everything. And I told him I wanted to be rich and famous and help people and write books and, be known all over the world. And he says, if you don't give all those ideas, I think he called it grandiosity. If you don't give up all these grandiose ideas of changing the world, being rich, being famous, if you don't change all those ideas, dude, you'll never, ever, ever make it. You'll never stay, you'll never stay dry and sober.
Just because you're great doesn't mean you don't want money. In fact, the greater you are, the more money you're going to want. So if you want great people, I hear companies always talk about, I can't find great people, because you don't pay them anything, man. Right? So like if I offer you $700,000 right now, can you swim?
Yeah.
You any good?
I'm okay.
Yeah. So if I offer you $700,000 right now and say, hey, dude, you got to go swim after that boat and you got to catch it. Like, you're not going to worry about how cold the water is. The water's probably freezing ass cold, right? You're gonna if you're money motivated, okay, you're gonna fly in there. But let's say I put $700,000 out there and say, whoever gets to the boat first.
Exactly. Well, what traits?
Exactly. Would you do it? Would you do it?
Probably. I think anyone in the world would do it.
I don't know.
Unless you're a billionaire and you're like,
yeah, then 700. You're not motivated by $700,000.
Exactly.
Right.
You'd want more than 700.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. But you know what? I know billionaires would actually be the first people to hit the water.
Exactly.
because they understand money. They understand, man, it's worth me paying that price to get the 700 because they know what to do with 700. A lot of people are not money motivated because they simply don't know what to do with money. Every time they get it, they actually lose it.
I'm 63 years old. I'll be 64 in March, and I feel like I'm like 14 years old, man. I'm like, let's roll. Like, let's go. I'm ready to run through walls and, fly and learn new stuff. I'm studying cryptos right now and the metaverse and like what happens and when do I make a play and do I make a play and what is all this? So number one, you have to stay curious. Number one, curious. You have to be curious. When Clubhouse came around, Clubhouse is an audio app if you don't know what that is. A couple of years ago, most of the people in my office, including Jared, was like, man, ain't nothing, there's nothing there. I'm like, oh, there's people there though. There's people there. And what I discovered because I was curious about Clubhouse is not because I was curious about social media. I was curious about people. To me, I get energy from people. And so I've been in rooms where Alan, have y'all met Alan yet? So Alan saw me go in a room one night and he texted me. He's like, what the hell you doing in this room, man? And I said, well, what's up? He's like, get out of this room. And I said, what you worried about? He's like, you're the only white person in the room and the title is white entitlement. And he sends me a little sweaty emoji. I said, bro, how am I going to learn about white entitlement with white people? Like, you got to be curious, folks. Just because it has nothing to do with you doesn't mean your market's not there. And for me to be able to market to a market means I need to understand how that market thinks. So one of the great benefits of me being curious, particularly about two-way communication on social media, the feedback. I'm not looking for likes and comments. I'm looking for something, some electricity in the moment. What you're talking about, the drive, potential, an idea. Like all my ideas come from, I don't fabricate ideas. Everything you see me do happened. It was happening already in the universe. I don't create anything. I just grab something that's already there. And I grab it out of something I hear. So the Supreme Court today announced they kicked out the mandate for the vaccine. I'm like, hey man, okay, good. You like it or don't like it. Y'all need to get on one side of that story and start talking to people about it so you gain that audience. You need, I don't want to be political. See, that's stupid, man. There's nothing that raises more money than politics. Nothing. There's nothing. And most of it's just a scam. And everybody knows it. They're like, I'm throwing in. They ain't throwing in for their side. They're throwing in to keep the other side that they're worried about. The point of the story is there's energy there. There's tremendous amounts of energy that you want to tap into. If you could walk the line and play both of them, that'd be super cool. Very difficult to do that though. So when that came out today, I'm like, good job, man. Like, I got to take a stand on that. Now, will I lose some people? 100%. I don't care who I lose. There's 8 billion people on this planet. I'm worried about who doesn't know me. So the way to protect your brand is to expand it. That's the only way to protect your brand.
I remember when I was a kid, a man told me, he's like, Grant, patience is a virtue. And I looked at him and said, are you trying to get a head start on me? Because that's what it sounds like. That reminds me of how many people say money won't make you happy. Rich people aren't happy. Look, folks, okay, why is this whole rich topic so sensitive to so many people? Why is it so many people, the moment you say rich, wealthy, get wealthy, the first thing that happens, everybody's like, rich people. You get all this negativity around being rich. Rich people aren't happy. Rich people are dysfunctional. Rich people are greedy. Rich people are selfish. You've heard all that. Money won't make you happy. Why all the disdain? Why the hate? Why the criticism for the wealthy? I'm not talking about people that inherited their money. I'm talking about people that worked from nothing and created an empire. And created true wealth that you can't possibly get rid of in a lifetime. People that will actually create so much wealth that they'll leave it for generations to come. The DuPonts, the Fords, the Carnegies. Bad people? Or did they do something really big? Look, when I talk about getting rich, I'm talking about you tapping into your full potential, not just financially, but in all areas of your life. My family, I'm rich. My company, I'm rich. My finances, I'm rich. My other businesses are rich, not just because they have money,
but because they're rich in ideas, rich in great people, rich in energy, resources, and creativity. Man, get rich, man. And if you don't want to get rich, please don't blame other people that want to. That's the rant for the day.
You guys that are just getting started, you're not going to start right here. You're going to start down there, okay? Probably in another city, another town. I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana, no money, raised by a single mother. I was in debt at 25 years old. The first thing that I had to do in my life was not learn a new skill. The first thing I had to do to get my life moving in the right direction was self-development. It is vital, it was vital for me that I improved myself and I could start depending upon me. I had to show up every day with some rituals, some disciplines, and start getting myself to trust me. Not trust others, but trust myself to do the right thing every day. One of the things that I started doing was beating the sun up every morning. I'm gonna beat that sun up every morning so that I have the discipline and the control over my life. So I knew, hey, before that thing pops, I'm gonna pop. I'm gonna get out of bed, depend on myself, get up at the same time every day. And for me, that time, regardless of where I was beat that sun up. No matter where I am, I'm gonna beat that thing up. So it gives me a sense of control over my own life. Second thing, I had to start cleaning up my life and my friends and my environment. When I was younger, between 15 and 25, I was doing crazy stuff in my life. Wasting my weekends. I have the saying, weekends are for the weak. I was drinking, fooling around with a bunch of bad things, bad people, making poor choices. At 25 years old, I cleaned it all up. Quit going to those places, quit using those things, quit hanging out with people that did not have ethics and discipline in their life, that weren't committed to the same things that I was. I wanted to build something in my life. I wanted to become someone. And to do that, to become someone in the eyes of the world, the first thing I had to do was become someone I could depend on. So put some things together, 3 or 4 things you can do every day to start the day, kickstart your day, get going in your day to give you a sense of respect for yourself, accomplishment for yourself. Look, just beating that sun up every morning gives me the sense of accomplishment, that I did what I said I was gonna do, that I woke up when I said I would wake up, and I start building respect for myself, start believing in myself so that I can go out into the world and maybe today when I go into this meeting that I'm dressed for, maybe they'll believe in me as much as I believe in me, and that'll show up in a contract, a deal, maybe even some money. One of the things that to me is the most difficult thing in my entire career is becoming a top producer. Because the moment you become a top producer, you become susceptible to thinking you have the life. I grew up in a little town in Louisiana, a little small town, about 60,000 people. You probably hear the accent. And I grew up in a middle class family. My dad died when I was 10 years old. My mother raised us. And my mother constantly told me how proud I should be of myself. How many of you got a mother like that? You should be so proud of yourself, okay? Every time, my mom was my best friend, and every time I would have a success, it didn't matter whether I was 18 years old or 48 years old. Anytime I had a success, she was the first person I called. I wouldn't call my girlfriend, wouldn't call my wife, wouldn't call any of the people that were closest to me. I'd call my mom up and say, Mom, you'd never believe I just bought a real estate deal. I started this company. I bought my first real estate deal. It's 38 units. It's $4 million. And she'd be like, that's awesome. I love you just the way you are. And I'm like, okay, thanks. She told me that 1,000 times. How many of you had a parent tell you, I love you? That's great. You made 160 grand last year. But I love you just the way you are. How many hear that? Okay, that's right out of the 10X rule. I don't know if you know that. That's right out of the 4 actions. Anybody know what action it is? Average, I'm doing well. Okay, there's 4 levels of action. Number 1 is, I do nothing. If I rewrote this book, I would take that out. That's actually impossible. To do nothing at all is impossible. Try doing it right now. To do nothing means you had to make a decision to do something and not do it. This is actually not true. I wouldn't put it in the book if I rewrote it. The second level of action is to retreat. This is what most people do, by the way. How many had a commitment to work out today and didn't? Okay, I was up late. Whatever. You came up with whatever reason. I'm going to make the call.
By the way, any retreat in life, any single retreat is a discipline and a commitment to retreat when it matters. So every time you make a decision, you just need to be aware that what are you doing here, okay? There's only 4 things you can do in any given day, right? You could do nothing, you could retreat, or you could do this, average. Now, I know you guys are being told that you're the top. You're the top. You're the best. You made it to Miami. But I'm just going to tell you right now, ain't not a person in this room is above number 3. No, I'm not there. Okay, and I know how much I'm grinding every day, how much I'm pushing every day, how many hours I put into a day. What's the maximum number of hours you can do in a day? Not if you add people. If you added people, you got to think beyond the 24th thing. Once you guys get committed, then you will come up with solutions outside the physical universe. Okay, you're already doing that. Your space is bizarre. Okay, here there's a bunch of people in the room that like I don't know anything about technology. I'm 61 years old. I was born in 1958. I am supposed to be outside of that moment of technology. Yet I'm probably one of the top 5 social media people in the world today. Banging on Instagram and Snapchat and LinkedIn and Google Plus that'll go away. Using all these mechanisms to try to get attention so that I can operate at this level 10x thing, this massive level that is always changing, by the way. You can't 10x something. People are like, man, I'd write the book. If I wrote the book, I'd write it 11x. I'm like, that's because you don't understand 10x, dude. 10x is a multiplier. It's 10x, which is 100. Okay? So what I did when Lehman collapsed, I wrote the 10x rule. And I wrote the book because I realized I had done something wrong. That book was written for me. And the reason, when I closed the book, the reason I was like, whatever, I had figured out what I had done wrong, okay? I had to embrace the idea that $3 or $4 million in a bank and a house paid for and 2 cars and a marriage, and I got it better than everybody else. And my mama loves me just the way I am, was all this middle class, this American, particularly here in America. How many of you live in America? Okay, in America, the middle class, it is the sleeping chamber on planet Earth. Okay, people come here, they come from India and China, come to here to get a middle class. Dude, I don't want anything to do with this. Okay, you're middle class, you will not change the world. You might change your house. You might change the education your little kids get, okay? They get to go to Texas A&M, big deal, right? He told me that he went to Texas. I said, oh, that had to screw you up bad, just going to college. Why? Because what do they manufacture at college? They manufacture average people at college. So I want to challenge you today, okay? I want to challenge you today to start thinking, hey, wait a minute, am I even a top producer?
You know, I hear people all the time complain about their job. They don't want to have a job. I'm like, well, man, you have to love your job. If you don't love your job, how are you going to go start a business and have people that work for you that don't hate their job? It's a gift to be able to have a job. Like, if you can smile, I really believe this. If I can smile throughout my life, even when I'm eating, like, yeah, okay, what else you got? I was telling Elena, she was down there boxing this morning and with Javier, and man, her kicks are getting awesome. And she had this look on her face. I said, look, you got to smile when you do that kick. You got to smile when you punch. You got to smile when you get punched. Because when you can smile when you're eating shit and taking a punch, when things are not going well, when you're terrified and you can keep smiling through it, I think Churchill said, when you're going through hell, skip, move, run, and have a smile on your face. Like, it doesn't bother you. And you become dangerous to other people when you can eat shit. You're humble enough to say, yeah, okay, I'll do the dishes. Okay, I'll sweep the floors.
Hey, I always tell you guys, when you're picking real estate out, make sure that you never compromise location. Okay, look at this location right here. Some of you have been jabbing on me because, Grant Cardone doesn't take his own advice. He went and bought a house in Malibu. He says not to buy a house. Number one, this is not a house. This is a piece of art located in one of the most popular places in the country, and certainly in the state of California. This is beautiful Carbon Beach.
It is 150 feet of frontage on one of the most desirable beaches in Malibu. And I'm saying this as humbly as I can. I'm like, guys, look, if you ever get a chance in your life, I'm not just bragging here. I'm just trying to show you, don't compromise location ever. The moment you compromise location, you can fix a lot of things. I can fix the paint. I can fix the interior. This interior of this house is very, very dated. Some people will like the cedar shake, the cottage look. Some people will like that color, not like the color. The doors and windows are dated. They probably need to be changed. The pool at some point needs to be updated. It's 15 years old. Some people will be all right. Some people will be like, I don't like it. It's just a lap pool. But it's 75 feet of a lap pool on Carbon Beach with neighbors that are just on every major list. And it's just one super, super, super desirable little spot in the universe. So when you're picking real estate, doesn't matter how big it is. This house happens to be 10,000 square feet, interiors, 3-car garage, two stories, sits up on caissons that go 60 feet deep into the sand and into the granite. To provide it with its base. It's got a 75-foot lap pool on the Pacific Ocean. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous. Can't build it again. If you tried to build this again, it would take probably 5 years if you could get it approved. Probably would not get 10,000 square feet approved again. Would not get the pool approved. And just a fantastic, fantastic location. So for all of you that are out there hearing me say, oh, Grant Cardone doesn't take his own advice. You're right, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I would not. If I was on the come up, just trying to get my game on, just getting started, I wouldn't go buy a house that doesn't provide my best friend cash flow. If it doesn't have cash flow, what am I got to fund it. This house actually could provide me with cash flow. But if it didn't, the location's so ridiculous. If I do the right things with the interior and the colors and the cedar shake, the doors and windows, if I update this pool a little bit, do the right things with the stone, furnish it on the interior in a way that it should be, there's a real good chance I make money on this house. Now, you know what I paid because it's been posted all over the internet. What I paid for the house when Real Deal posted it in the Wall Street Journal. Some of you are like, oh my God, he overpaid for this house. How could this guy pay that much money for this house? What do you think I'm going to sell this house for in the future? 150 feet. There's 3 other homes on Carbon Beach that have 150 feet on the ocean. None of it, by the way, is elevated. None of it. Most of it is down on the sand. You got Larry Ellison down the street, Michael Milken. I mean, these are super, super, super wealthy families. Larry Ellison has one home. His son has building a brand new home that they say will sell for $150 million if he ever sells it. Michael Milken's home, they say, is worth $150 million. When you are picking your home, it could be an $80,000 home, an $800,000 home, an $8 million home. Stretch. If you're going to do it, stretch and get the best possible location you can. I made this mistake my first 3 homes. I made the mistake believing I'm going to buy for less in a great neighborhood. I knew to buy in a great neighborhood, but I was scared to pay the extra money to be in that little pocket of that neighborhood where the location was literally irreplaceable. So if you're buying a house this year, you're buying an apartment, or you're buying an office building, or you're buying retail or storage, maybe storage less, okay? Make sure you get that kind of location that's irreplaceable. My wealth ultimately is not the money I have, it's the knowledge I have and the belief I have in myself. The same thing for you. But I want to take you on this trip because, look, number one, you got to visualize it. You got to be able to see it in your mind like possibility. Second thing is you got to see it, in the physical universe. You can explain to me what a bougainvillea is. You can explain to me what a beach is. You can explain to me what the gym looks like on the second floor in Cabo San Lucas at this beautiful hotel we're at. But
until I visually, physically put an image to the ocean, to the whales, to the sunshine, to the mountains, until I visually see it, it doesn't become real. Third thing you want to do, number one, see it in your mind. I was doing a call today with Percy Miller, Master P. And he's like, first thing you got to do is see it in your mind. He grew up in extreme poverty in the projects. And he says, Grant, the first thing I had to do was I had to see it in my mind that I could get out. Second thing I had to do was see a picture of it in the physical universe. That's how valuable the internet is today, is that you get to see things that maybe are way outside your price range. You can see the Lambo, the Rolls, the big house, the trip. You can see the possibility of Elon going to Mars, and all of a sudden all those things expand possibilities. So number one, you got to see it in your mind. Two, you got to see it in the physical universe. And this also includes other people, examples of other people that are doing great things. I'm not just talking about physical manifestation. I'm not talking about stuff. I'm not talking about watches and bracelets and rings and houses and cars. I'm talking about how can you actually manifest something in the real world that you have in your mind? How do you turn an idea into reality? And these things that I'm sharing with you will make it a possibility. When you dig deep on them, though, it's like, okay, well, how do I get closer to people that are doing those things? Because the third thing is you got to get closer to the thing you want. If you want a Gulf Stream, or if you want to solve the water problem on planet Earth, you're going to have to get closer, physically closer, step on, not just see with your eyes in a magazine or on the internet. You need to put your feet in the sand, put your feet on the jet. Now, that might mean that you got to go fuel jets for a while. You got to go work at an aviation company, an airport, and actually fuel them, clean them, wash them. Maybe you got to be a flight attendant on them. Put your feet next to them. Maybe you have to become a pilot. You're going to have to pay the price, though. There's no free lunch here for anybody, including my children. There's no free lunch. There's no way to know what this room feels like, the expansiveness of this room, by looking at it on the internet. The moment you can get in it, it'll become even more real to you. The fourth thing is you got to put your feet in this deal. You got to put your feet in this deal. There's a horse down there. You can visualize a horse. You can see the horse. You got to touch the horse. And the fourth thing, you got to touch the horse. And the fourth thing is you guys got to collaborate with other people, man. You got to get in the room with other people, whether you're serving water. If they don't invite you to sit down, then offer them money to sit down with them. If that doesn't work, offer to serve them to sit down. Okay, this is a story of my life could be wrapped up in these four things right here. Number one, see it in my mind. Number two, see it in the physical universe, like see it in some, not physical, but in metaverse, on the internet, in a magazine, a picture of it. Third, get closer to it. Put your feet on it, on the plane, on the horse, on the beach, in the hotel. If I got to go work there to do it. And the fourth thing is you got to network with people that have stuff. Okay. Again, I spent some time this week with Dame Dash. She's like, look, you got to get close to the action. You got to get with the people that are making the moves. You cannot make the moves from your own neighborhood. Percy Miller told me you cannot make the moves from the projects. You got to move from the projects, not make the moves in the project. Quit working street corners. Quit selling just a product and start hanging out with people that have scaled their ideas into a reality.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 10 more amazing rules from Alex Hormozi, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Most people, unless your parents are exorbitantly wealthy and have achieved everything that you wish to achieve, I don't think you should listen to your parents. And so one of my first rules of life is never listen to someone who's poorer than you or poorer than you want to be. So that's two different caveats there, because you might be younger and it's like, okay,